Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Market Snapshot. I'm sure you guys are geared up for the week. We have a lot of activities going on, and also this is the week we have NFP, the volatility coming in on Friday. And so, being on a Tuesday, welcome everyone. Guys who are joining in, say hello. Let's have an interactive session today. And basically, we'll start off with something that will be happening later in the afternoon, or is it in the evening now? From 6 in the US, the ISM Services PMI. And basically, what we need to do is that we need to have an understanding of ISM Services PMI and its impact on the dollar. So brief intro, what is ISM Services PMI? So we need to understand that. So basically, this is a monthly economic indicator that measures the activity level of purchasing managers in the services sector of the economy. So what are these services sectors? Maybe you're looking at the banks, you're looking at the supermarkets, you're looking at the tech companies, the Microsofts, you're looking at Amazon, you're looking at hospitals, you're looking at law firms, auditing firms, airlines, hotels, service, universities, colleges, you see. So basically, you'll want to see the activity of the purchasing managers in those particular, if it's the law firms and the banks, right? And then what are the components of the ISM Services PMI? So here you'll be looking at the business activity, the new orders, any new orders for whatever it is that you guys are doing in that particular sector, employment, the number of guys you've employed, supplier deliveries, and the prices. So what's the importance of SMI Services PMI? It provides insights into the health of the services sector, which accounts for a significant portion of economic activity. Remember, at the end of the day, this will influence the dollar. And how? Let's have a look at that. So the relationship between the SMI Services PMI and the dollar. So today, we are expecting that news. And so what are the two possible situations? A stronger PMI. So if the PMI comes in stronger than expected, it will have indicated that there is robust growth in the services sector, and that means the economy is healthy and growing. So with that, there'll be some confidence in the US dollar, and that could probably lead to an increase in inflation, when there's the economy is healthy, everyone has money to spend. So that will lead, maybe the perception will be that the Fed will increase the interest rates, and that would strengthen the dollar. And so if you're looking at currencies, for example, if it's GBP USD, gold, the projection is that they will drop, while USD CHF, USD JPY will rise. Why? Because the dollar is strong. The other scenario will be a weaker PMI. Conversely, if the comes out weaker than expected, it will have signaled that the services sector has really slowed down, and that will lead to concerns of economic growth. So investors will be in a wait and see mode, and here they'll be looking at possible interventions by the Fed, basically probably like lowering the interest rates, and that will mean a weak dollar. So what will be the impact on currencies? So if you're looking at maybe GBP USD, if you're looking at gold, they will rise due to the weak dollar. And then, of course, if you're looking at USD CHF, USD JPY, they will drop due to, of course, the base currency being the dollar, which will be weak. So let's have a look at let's have a look at the economic calendar and look at those numbers. So make sure that you're sharing your questions, guys. So we'll want to look at these numbers and get to understand a bit of the economic outlook. So we can see today being on a Tuesday, there was the BOJ Governor Weda speaking that, that was more of the yen. But now our focus mainly is this one, 6 p.m. today. We have the ISM Services Purchases Managers Index. And so what is the projection? So we can see the forecast. So the forecast here is what traders are expecting. They expect the numbers to be at 53.0. Previously, the number was at 53.4. So what we've just learned is that if this number comes out higher, than 53. So let's say the number comes out at 54, 55, 56. We will see some volatility and the dollar will strengthen. And we've seen if the dollar strengthens, gold will tank, GBP USD will tank, Euro USD will tank, and then USD CHF, USD JPY, USD CAD will rise. And what happens when the PMI numbers come out weaker? What do we mean by weaker? Anything less than 53, maybe 52, 51, 50. So if that number comes out at any one of those numbers, then it will be like the economy, the US economy is not doing so well, and so guys will be looking at how the Fed can, ideally, maybe try and uh, work on the economy by policies, maybe reducing interest rates so that guys have more income, disposable income, so that they can make orders if they're going to universities, all these things. If you've looked at the airlines, guys can travel and so on and so forth. So that is basically what we are looking at. So let's go to our charts and have a technical outlook on all this, and basically we'll be looking at the currencies with a view of trying to understand some of these assets, where they're headed. And remember, once again, this is a disclaimer. Kindly, this is purely educational analysis. This shouldn't be a reason as to why you should take trades. We normally say that this should just give you, some guide. But then again, it's up to you when you're going to push that button, that buy or sell. Make sure that you have knowledge and you know that you're doing that out of your own experience. And so let's go to our charts and get to look at these technicals. So that is my screen. So that is my screen. So let's have a look at maybe USD card and see technically what are the technicals saying in this particular situation. So once again, we will want to go to higher time frames. This is the ideal area where as traders you should start. Have a look at the long-term outlook. Where is the market headed? So we can see it seems like USD card is still on a bullish run. Maybe this is for position traders or maybe swing traders. They could be looking at maybe that high, that is last year's high. However, if we look at day trades, let's go down, let's narrow down this. We can see I've mapped out this order block over here. There's a potential price 36.49 that we should be. That's like 52 pips away. That's a potential area where the market could be headed. And so let's go now to, let's fine tune this to lower time frames. So we can see this would actually be the high of the month, of the year, sorry, if this trade were to play out. So let's go down to H4. So if we look at what the moving averages are doing here, we can see a cross of the 200 and the 800. So we expect this market probably to come to this high, that 649, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but we just need to have confirmations. We need to have those confirmations on whether we can see that, but that's a possible outlook, right? So this would probably be this. Remember, once again, this is purely educational analysis, guys. So this will probably be more of the outlook, maybe at a hit to us, like we need to see that hit. to 36.49, and then from there on we should probably see the bears coming in, right? So that actually will be an outlook. Let's look at where maybe we would want to see the bears coming in. M15 lower time frames. So if we were to map out yesterday's low, that one. So if we go back to this, then probably would want to see price rise to that 649, then drop to 35.44. That's like 100 pips, right? That's 100 pips drop on USD card. And we can see, actually, we can see moving average, the 50 EMA over here. So that is a possible projection that we are looking at on USD card. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. So what do we have on GBP USD? Once again, let's go to higher time frames. Let's look at the monthly. Wow, on the monthly, we can see some kind of a resistance over here, courtesy of the moving average, the 50 EMA moving average at 27.20. Let's go back to lower time frames. So guys, you can see something interesting now. On the weekly, we can see this moving average, the white one, which is the 200 EMA. We can see price has been hitting this area, and then sellers will come in. Look at these, buyers were pushing the market up and countered the 200 DMA. Sellers came in, and we can see right now price is still operating under that moving average. So we can see some bit of resistance sellers coming in there. So if they breach these 200 DMA, we should probably see them go to 27.20, which we have seen is the daily on the monthly. Sorry, we can see that 50 EMA. So what will this be like? So 27.20, we've already mapped that out. Then this being a new month, March, then we should probably, there's a possibility, knowing that GU is quite volatile. So they could, there's also a possibility that price could go to 27.73, which is the high of the month, right? Of last month's high. So this is a potential area where you could see sellers coming in strongly, right? So let's see how price has been playing out. Yeah, we can see the reaction of price, right? We can see every time price will hit this high, sellers will come in, sellers. Look at that, sellers will come in. So that is a potential area where there seems to be some accumulation of sellers, and that could present an opportunity for guys to come in. That's the daily. Let's look at H4. Let's narrow this down. H4, we can see sellers seem to be in charge, but for how long? So maybe if you were to map this out, probably let's have a look at this candle over here. Maybe 26.55. Let's narrow it down once again. Yeah, so we can see GBP USD on the H1, probably going to that 200 DMA. We can see some bit of support over here, but how strong is it? Let's go to lower time frames. Yeah, so if I were to look at this trade, I would want GBP USD to drop to 26.55, and then maybe rise to now 27.22. So if I were to do this analysis, this is probably how I would want to see GBP USD move. Probably we could see this drop, a completion. Okay, sorry guys. Could see a drop maybe to that price level, to that 655 or thereabout, and then maybe a push up to 2720, or even maybe now a further push up to 2773. So that will be probably the outlook on GBP USD. Remember, this is NFP week, so we expect a bit of some kind of slow moves as traders anticipate the NFP data on Friday, right? So let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD, we can see an analysis I did last week. You see this failed, and this is why, like we're saying, guys, no one is perfect in this business. So at times your analysis could be so wrong. So we can see instead of going up, we can see price went down, right? So if we were to remove all this, now that is past. So what's our outlook? Probably once again go back to higher time frames. The best place to look at markets will be higher time frames. They give you a better outlook on what's expected. So in this case, probably we can see once again just like GBP USD, this is bullish. Euro USD is bullish, and we could see an encounter at 10.25. Wow, that's like 100 and what? 170 pips away. Yeah, that would be a possible push on Euro USD on a monthly. Remember now, this is where like you're a position trader, you're a swing trader, and you're looking at, you're not scared of holding a trade. AMA 10.25 actually is not so high. It is actually, yeah, that's the weekly. So we can see some interesting outlook here. We can even see a 200 moving average. So let's narrow this down. This is the daily. So if we go to the daily, then we'll want to look at the high of the year. So in this case, what's the high of the year? So this will probably be the high of the year. Let's have a look at that. Daily. So remember, we're just trying to map out, right? We're just trying to map out the trades to look for possible areas where the market could go to. Yeah, so that's a possible area that this market could be hitting, and it will be interesting because we can see an order block over here, right? And then which led to this downward move. So it's a possibility that we could see Euro USD push to these highs. Then again, the first resistance will be probably at 0.899, which is 50 pips away. That will be the first resistance, courtesy of the yearly high, which is this move over here. So let's look at H4. So we narrow it down. So we can see the trend is bullish. We can see the market is still bullish on this particular asset. So our work will probably be to seek opportunities, right? Good entries for those buy positions. So maybe you'll want to map out yesterday's low. What is yesterday's low? Maybe here. So if Euro USD was to drop, then probably it will come to 0.836 and then maybe make that push. So if you look at lower time frames, that will be a potential area, 0.836 or 0.830 or thereabouts. That will be a possibility that we should be looking at. So once we do that, probably this will be the outlook. Sorry, I need to get this arrow. So we should probably see that hit 62 pips. Yeah. maybe that will be something on our end, if you're looking for this trade. So yeah, Euro USD looks bullish. Now remember, if the PMI, remember what you said, if the PMI comes out negative, then that will be easy. If the PMI numbers come out at 52, 51, because we've seen traders are expecting it to be at 53. So if the numbers come out at 52, 51, we should probably see that run to 0899 by end of the day. Maybe at 6:30, by 6:30 today, we should probably see that trade hit that area. Then again, if the numbers come out strong, we could see some volatility. So just make sure that if you're taking trades, make sure that you're taking trades based on your own projections. Now, let's look at Audi USD. Once again, let's look at higher time frames. We look at the monthly. So monthly, we have a certain price over there, 64.33. So let's go to lower time frames and see what 64.33. That's like, wow, that's like 50 pips, 49 pips. It will also be the low of that will probably coincide with the low of the year. All right, so let's go look at the daily. Yeah, H4. Let's look at H4. So maybe what you can see is that this trade is coming to this low, and then now Audi USD will probably push up, right? Yeah. So that's a possible outlook. Audi USD seems to be doing its own thing away from the other Euro USD and GBP USD. So remember, maybe the Australian dollar could be facing some backlash back at home. And so, yeah, that's a possible outlook. Personally, I would only want to take buy trades on Audi USD once price gets to 64.33. And that's not far. That's, like we've said, it's around 59 pips away, 49 pips away. Yeah. Audi USD is sluggish, but it can easily get there. So I can only take buy positions once Audi USD hits this area, and probably maybe take a push up. Otherwise, as of now, I'll just want to see how that trade plays out. There's also a possibility that we could see a head and shoulder pattern forming. So this is also another possible maybe push. We could probably see price hit 64, 66, and then push up. Right, so we have this left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So that's a possibility also, because it seems like Audi USD has already breached last week's low, last week's low over here. And so we should probably see this push here, maybe rise, and then or maybe another drop. Once again, the good thing with trading is that you can only trade once you've seen the confirmations, right? But you just need to have this analysis so that you're able to have a better outlook on your trades. Yeah? So that's a possibility. You can see the head and shoulder is clearly visible here. So you could see a head and shoulder over here, left shoulder, an inverse. Sorry, this is an inverse, not a head. It's an inverse head and shoulder. We can see the head, and then a drop, and then maybe now a push up, right? Because you can see a drop that has been happening, lower lows, and then now we could see now the other formation over here, and maybe price gets up. So yeah, I would only probably buy Audi USD once it has come to those price levels. You see, like we've seen even on these other pairs, we anticipate a drop. The best entries will be somewhere down here, right, away from this price. That will be the best entry. GBP USD, we can see where it is. We've seen that we wanted to drop almost 20 pips. That would be a better entry, right? Yeah, and on entries, we will see why I took this USD CHF trade, and we will see our entry so that you guys can understand what I mean by entries. Now, let's look at the cousin of Audi USD, the Kiwi. Once again, let's go to higher time frames. Let's have a look at all these outlooks. I'll want to remove everything here. Once again, I'll repeat this. This is purely educational, so just take note of that. This does not mean we're giving you guys investment ideas. Huh? So if we were to map out maybe NZD USD, that's way far. Not unless some news was to spike. Huh? Let's go to weekly. Okay, we can see the same thing. We can see this bullish order block over here playing out. This could be a possibility, and it will actually be a really, this is an area I would actually look for opportunities to buy. 59.89 on NZD USD. If price hits that area, then we can easily maybe push for the year, or maybe go to these highs. Look at the time frame I'm using. So if you're a position trader, maybe this is more for you. And so those will be how many pips? That will be 552 pips. Huh? That's a good push. If price were to come here, there's a strong case for a bullish move once price hits this area, right? Courtesy of this, and we've also seen on the monthly. So let's look at the daily. The daily, once again, probably we also have maybe short term 60.37. I just look at how the cousin. So this will be last month's low. Is it even last month's low? Yes, the low of February. Yeah. So this will be an interesting area also for maybe a bullish move. But then again, like I've said, I'm looking at a better support at 59.89. It has a better outlook on my end. Hi, H4. How's the market faring on? Yeah, so we can see that downward push. The moving averages, they're pointing to a downward move. So we could see a continuation of this downward push, right, on this particular asset. So we can see lower lows, and then maybe another lower low here, which will now coincide with the low of February. So H1, yeah. So I can see a lot of downward push on NZD USD. We can see that move level 1, level 2, and probably now a level 3 over here. And that will, on the other side here, price would have come at overbought area. So this is also a possibility. So if I were to look at maybe this pair, I would probably be looking at this push. Right. This is more of an intraday play, right? Okay, so let's look at USD CHF. This is a trade I took. I took it because of this weekly chart. There was this moving average, the weekly, the 50 EMA. So if we go to time frames, lower time frames, we will see the entry, which was quite epic. We can see the sell. I took this sell over here. I booked, if you look at my exposure over here, my history, we will see I booked yesterday, was it 50 pips? Yeah, I took 50 pips on this trade. And then, yeah, the trade has been running. It has a good entry, so that's why I am still holding these positions. Probably we could see a push up, but then we can see some kind of resistance over here. That's why we can see the wicks, the spikes. Every time buyers try to push around this area, they take a hit, the sellers will come in. And so there's a possibility that my trade will continue going down. But then again, you see, this is the thing. You, as a trader, you must know how to manage your trades. So what I've done is that I've moved my stop loss in profit. So no matter what happens, I'm okay. I've already booked 2 trades. So if this trade continues with the upward move, that's okay. That's well and fine with me. But then again, I'm anticipating a downward push on USD CHF. Could that mean that the PMI will come out negative? I don't know. In all honesty, I have no idea. Well, our work as traders is to secure our positions in the best way we can, and that means you understand there's that possibility, right? So we can see that push my first take profit, and then maybe the other take profit will probably be on this moving average, will probably be here. That is it, 749, 750 or thereabouts. So yeah, that's what we have on this particular setup. So gold has done a lot of things that we do not understand, but then again, we can see strong support on the 800 moving average here on H4, which was at the oversold region, and then price shot up. If we look at higher time frames, let's look at the monthly. So we can see gold has been pushing up. Uh, this has more to do with also, what's happening in Israel and Gaza. So this is probably, if I were to advise people, it's only fair that if you want, this is purely me. Stay away from gold if you can, because remember, we normally say gold is a safe haven pair. What does that mean? It means during turmoil or when there's uncertainty in the world, traders or even investors tend to buy gold, and so when physical gold is bought by investors out there, the prices of gold will go up due to a sudden increase in demand for a product. We know the supplies and demand side of the market. So when there's all of a sudden there's a high demand for something, the prices of that particular commodity will push up. So for me, I don't have a clear outlook on gold. It seems like gold is still, is going up. Yeah. So that's it on gold. I wouldn't be looking for short opportunities on gold. USD JPY. So this was the analysis I did last Tuesday. I anticipated USD JPY to drop here, but then again, we can see first it had to go up here. What did they do? Basically, price went to test this high. You can see it hit this high. It was more of last week's high. So if we go to H4, so we can see, so it was the weekly high. So price went to the weekly high and then dropped. And we can see the close of above. The moving out, the area had projected as a take profit area. But you can see now the wicks. This tells you that this area was a strong support. So when these sellers were pushing the market down here, they encountered the buyers who pushed the market up, and the buyers took over. So once again, on this trade, we can see the areas I've mapped. Those are areas, potential areas where we could be looking for opportunities. But then again, USD JPY has been doing its own things once again. And so it has more to do with the policies in Japan. And we could probably see a push to the downward move on this one, but then again, I really don't have that clear directional bias. We can see the market has been in a range. We can see this range. So the next breakout will go big. Maybe I had seen this projection. I had done this projection 2 weeks ago. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so long term, we can see this range. Long term, we should probably see a push to the high of last year, November. So that is probably where, once this trade gets out of this range, we should see push to 151.94. UT 100. UT 100, the analysis we did was that it was to drop, but then eventually it didn't get to this particular price level, but it pushed up, and we can see these higher highs formed. And so let's look at the monthly. Wow. So we can see Nasdaq has been hitting higher highs, and there's no stopping this. You see the rally in the Nvidia stocks, and you see today we've just seen that Jeff Bezos has just overtaken Elon Musk, right? So that tells you maybe that's because of their Amazon stock. So a whole lot of moves happening courtesy of the AI revolution. And so as traders, we just need to be on the lookout, seek opportunities, map out your areas. So in this particular area, let's try and map out possible areas. So if I were to look for opportunities to buy UT 100, I would probably be looking at this price level. Right? So yeah, probably now if we go to daily, H4, so maybe we could see UT100 drop to this level and then go for the other higher high. So probably this will be my projection. That drop and then maybe another push up. There's no stopping Nasdaq, clearly. So yeah, that would probably be my outlook on that. There's someone who had asked me about Euro NZD, and if you follow that trade, it did what we had said on that particular day. I think I had mapped out that it will drop to this level and then rise, and you can see it did that. I don't know whether the one who had asked me that question is still here, but I'm sure it played out as per that outlook. But then again, remember, this is purely educational analysis. So let's have a look at your questions. Let's have a look at your question. Yeah, so what questions do you have? Please comment on Bitcoin and halving. What does this mean? How does it affect the higher prices BTC Australia? Is that possible? Wow. Okay. So even without going to the charts, yes. We know once BlackRock came into the ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, that's a big player, the biggest player in the world in terms of assets under management. So we expected that bullish run. So the bullish run could hit 100K. That's a possibility, right? Yeah, it's a possibility. The institutional traders are coming in. Anywhere institutional traders come in, then you can expect higher highs. Any other question? So there's a question: why is live trading forex with FX Pesa skewed? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by skewed. Risk reward box. So let me show you something here. I want to show as I wrap up the questions. So what you need to do is log into your web trader. It's supposed to be web trader by FX Pesa. So in this particular instance, we can see maybe what we need to look at is risk to reward. So let's say we are doing gold, a GBP USD. So if you're looking at your risk to reward, you should probably look at maybe a small lot size. Maybe you're selling a stop loss of maybe 20 pips. Your take profit should probably be anything above 40 pips, 1:2, a ratio of 1:2. So when we talk about risk to reward ratio, we are saying that you're risking 20 pips to gain 50 pips. So that means in terms of money, that is you're risking $2 to gain $5 if you're looking at 50 pips. If you're looking at 40 pips, which is now the risk to reward of 1:2, then you're risking $2 to gain $4. So we can all agree that every investment out there is a risk. So there's no investment where you'll say like, I'm putting in my 100,000 without a risk. There's always risk in every business. But do you have measures on how much, what's the risk? So in trading, you're able to define your own risk by yourself. So you're able to come in and say, you know what, I'm going for -$2 because I want to gain $4. You know, if you're looking at a higher risk to reward, maybe you're looking at 80 pips. That's a risk to reward of 1:4, right? So you're risking $2 to gain $8. Yeah, so I hope I've covered that risk to reward. With regard to Bitcoin, I didn't understand the skewed part, so sorry, I'm not able to answer that. Any other question? So guys, thank you. Any other question? So make sure you understand that the market is giving us opportunities. So you just need to have a good so I've covered that. So this is Brian. How much do you need to trade? With BTC, you can trade with as low as $50, right? But that will not be the ideal because of the volatility of Bitcoin. Huh? Thanks, Robert. Yeah, how much do you need to trade? Yes, Brian, I think I've answered that, right? With $50, you can start trading Bitcoin. Ideally, the amount of money you need to start trading with uh, will be $100. But then again, we all know not everyone has access to $100. So the ideal, because of the volatility of Bitcoin, Bitcoin can really go. If it decides to take a bullish move, it will move. So just make sure that you have some money that is able to protect yourself from those volatilities. I hope, Brian, I've answered your question, right? Okay, so guys, cheers. Thank you for attending this session. Where is Elon Musk's win open? Will affect stocks. Bwire, why is Elon Musk's win OpenAI cooperation with Microsoft? Uh, in all honesty, I've not looked at that. But then again, of course, it will have an effect on Nvidia stocks if that happens, because you see, there'll be that diversion of attention to trying to settle this whole thing and how they'll change stuff. But then again, Nvidia stocks, they're really quite something courtesy of the quality. These guys have been in the business for quite some time. They have a name to themselves. So Nvidia still remains to be a bullish stock. Is there anything we should look out for in the markets this week? Shikonganga. I've just outlined some of the assets. We've looked at different currencies. We've looked at the major currencies. We've looked at indices. Kindly have a look at that. You will get our insights. And remember, this is purely educational. Just make sure that you know that it's not investment advice. Yeah, forecast will try and give you an outlook of investors, Caroline. Yeah? So basically, it's what the investors are trying to say, right? What are they trying to say? So what are they expecting the numbers to be? So for example, you've seen the numbers on the PMI. Traders forecast, the traders are expecting the numbers to be 53. Then again, if the numbers come out higher than that, that's what we've said, that we expect the dollar to strengthen. If the numbers come lower than that, we expect the dollar to weaken. Okay, thank you guys for attending this awesome session. Have an awesome and peaceful week.